This happened to me about 2 or 3 years ago. I was around 23 at the time. I'm a female and I live in Romania. One night, I was coming home from my night class at about 11 p.m. I had to take the subway for 12 stops. The destination I was getting off at was the end of the line for the subway. At that time of night, there shouldn't be many people on the subway. I'm a loner. All I need is my headset and my music, and I'm good to go. Said and done. I plug in my music. I pick the furthest chair in the subway, away from the only two other people that were taking the subway at that time. So far, so good. Until I see, out of the corner of my eye, a silhouette approaching me and sitting right next to me. It was a man, fairly built, dark hair, wearing glasses, a black shirt with a black hoodie, and a sickening smile. He doesn't engage in talking with me, but just stares at my phone as I browse through my music. I can hear him breathing, heavily, not like painfully, but still like he was feeling something very strong. I felt uneasy, so I decided to change my seat and go even further behind, trying to avoid him without looking like a freak myself. I don't know who I was worried about. There was only one other person the whole way. I guess that just scared me even more. I pick a new chair, sit down, plug my headset in again, and proceed with the remaining 6 to 12 stops on my way home. I see the silhouette growing bigger and bigger, and a breeze running across my skin as I realize the guy is again sitting right next to me. I glance back and I see dead eyes, a big smile that are staring right at my phone. I panic. There's still 4 stops to go. I have nowhere to hide. I look for the other person on the subway trying to sit next to her, thinking that strength comes on in numbers. She's not there anymore. I start to shake a bit, but I'm not allowing this creeper to notice me being vulnerable. I stand up, go to the door, and just decide to stand there until my stop comes. This way he won't sit next to me, right? Wrong. He follows me immediately and sits on the chair right next to the door. He couldn't see my phone from this angle, so he fixates on me instead with his black dead eyes and says, "Hi, gorgeous. Why are you avoiding me?" I'm freaking out. I look at my phone trying to call my boyfriend or message him, and he stops me by saying, "I know no one will help you. You would have sent an SOS message by now and you didn't." That moment I realize I'm cornered. He's been focusing on my phone to see who I was talking to, trying to figure out if I was panicked and asking someone for help. He cornered me bad. Luckily, I reach my stop just then. I run for the exit and I don't look back. I get out at the surface and I don't see him anymore. At this moment, I put my phone in my purse and realize I had pepper spray with me all along. My heartbeat starts to come back to normal. At least now I have something to defend myself with, but it's still a long way home, and who knows if he's alone or not. I walk fast for maybe 5 minutes from the metro and feel a hand grab my wrist hard and pull me back. Another hand covers my mouth, disabling me from screaming my lungs out. It was him. The same black hoodie, dark hair, and dead eyes, the stalker. He was furious and said, "Running from me? How dare you run away from me? You should be honored that I gave you attention." I'm fairly built for a woman, so I guess he thought men don't find me beautiful or something, and I should feel blessed that a creep like him stalks me and tries to hurt me. Now my phone is in my bag. I can't call the police, and I can't reach the pepper spray. I panic. I can't punch him in the crotch. I can't scratch him because I don't have long nails. His hand is still on my mouth. What do I do? I did the most desperate and disgusting thing I could think of just to save my life. I played along. I used the other hand to touch the inside of his thigh and mumble, "I'm sorry," while his hand was on my mouth. He took his hand off my mouth, and I repeated that I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were just flirting. He let his guard down and took his hand off my wrist. He asked me for my phone number and address to drop me off, but I refused, saying I'd rather add him on Facebook. He agreed. I told him I'd reach for my phone, but instead picked the pepper spray up and sprayed him in his face, making sure I got his eyes, nose, and mouth, even his ears and his hands. He instantly got all red, suffocating from the pepper and swelling. I called the police, told them what happened and what I did. They asked me if he was immobilized, and I said yes. The pepper spray takes 45 minutes to wear off. The police arrived there 5 minutes later to find me shaking like a leaf with a man on the ground swollen like a pumpkin. He was throwing up and swearing at me between gasps of breath. He was arrested, and the police told me they've been looking for him for the past week since they discovered the body of a 24-year-old woman in his apartment. She was a fairly built lady with red hair. I have red hair too. The woman was his girlfriend, and ever since they found her, he's never gone back to the apartment. I do not know what he wanted to do with me. I can understand why he targeted me due to the similarities between me and his girlfriend. But to the stranger in the subway stalking women at midnight, trying to befriend them or even worse, murder them, I hope to God you and I never meet again.